everybody. This is Duke White. You're watching Real Life with Duke White. We're here at the FFX Theater on the ocean front and in Virginia Beach, Virginia. If you ever want to be a part of the show, make sure you check us out. Just RSVP. You can be a part of the studio audience, and we look forward to you being able to interact, and we'll be looking forward to hanging out with you guys, ask questions, all that stuff. Is going to be a great time. So this is Real Life with Duke White. We're here with Portia Bryant.
Great to be here.
Yeah, Portia is a good friend of mine, author of the new book, What Would Jesus Do? And she's also an MC. She's also a school teacher, a mom, minister. You do it all. We just had William T. Stars on. I wanted to introduce you guys, but you already knew each other. And she is one of the soldiers that have just been holding it down for the kingdom of God in amazing places. One of the things that I've always admired about you is your strive for the standard, the excellence. And sometimes when people of faith, including myself, I'm one of them, they'll be like, oh, it's for God, let's just do it. You're the type of person that said, no, let's step back. How are we going to do this? What is it? So is that the teacher in you?
I believe so. I believe so. I'm an observer, and I like to see how it's done and try to strive as best as possible to get as close to what standard is. And yeah, so my first album, and everybody was just kind of, putting something out there, putting a marker on the CDs.
It's true.
I said, okay, well, these are the standard albums with booklets in it. I need mine to have a booklet too. I want a booklet. I want to have, the back cover.
This is for the first album.
For the first album.
You know what's funny about you saying that is that I honestly believe that I actually knew that. Because when I think about how consistent your personality is, you were this way, it's like God built you to be that leader of what the standard is. Am I right? Have you always been like, I just want to do things the right way?
Yeah.
Why is it that you make it seem like it's not hard? Because it's I'm like, I'll just get it done. It's fine. We don't have to stuff. And I feel that pressure. Like I want to do the standard, but I'll feel that pressure to just say, okay, well, let's just get it done. And when I hear you talk, when I see what you do, it's like you really take the time. Like, do you even feel that pressure, or you just know how to deal with it?
I know how to deal with it. I think it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah, a feeling of pressure as well as just wanting to execute. I'll have long nights, no sleep, and just continue to just grind. I have to put it on my schedule to eat and things of that nature. Like if I'm studying, whatever it is, I go hard. It's a little bit of the OCD in me, as well as I get fixated on a goal or a thing, and I just get tunnel vision toward it.
Yeah, I know a lot of creatives that deal with that, because it's especially once you've seen, and I know we use the word standard when we talk about the arts and things like that, but a lot of times it's once you've seen someone perfect their own creativity, you know that there's no excuse for you not to.
Right.
And the song Butterfly is a classic. Everybody loves Butterfly. Yeah, and everyone loves Butterfly. You are a very thoughtful poet. And I appreciate you being able to identify that you said, I'm an observer. When you look at the power of music, there's a lot of people that say it doesn't matter what you listen to, it doesn't matter what you say, none of that stuff matters. Could you speak to that? Being that you are in the word business, the lyric business, teaching, your life is surrounded by words, you're a writer. How important are words?
Current FM has good news. The FCC has approved our application to triple our radio signal. We get to go up in power. We've been praying for this for so long, but we can't do this without your help. We are asking you to help fund this power increase, as we'll need to buy a bigger transmitter and antenna. The price for these items alone will be approximately $75,000. Can you help us reach the amount needed so we can quickly get the power increase up and going? You can easily donate securely online at currentfm.com. You can also send in a check to Current FM, 3500 Virginia Beach Boulevard, Suite 201, Virginia Beach, Virginia 23452. We are nonprofit and tax deductible. It's because of your prayers that we received favor from the FCC, and we can't thank you enough for those prayers and for your financial support through the years. Help Current FM in reaching more people and seeing more lives changed in the years ahead.
Oh, words 100% are life. Words are life. Words created life. So it's, life and death is in the power of the tongue. What you speak is what you'll become. So whatever it is that we are programming our brains toward is what the pathway will be that we take. Even the emotions and the feelings that we experience are all first created by words that we say as well as the thoughts that we think. So whatever words and thoughts that we have, those are the feelings that manifest. So we're saying, okay, well, I'm depressed. Okay, well, what are you thinking about and what have you been saying? Okay, well, I'm filled with anxiety. Okay, pause. What have you been thinking about and what have you been saying? So those things go hand in hand with creation and manifestation.
So here's my thing. That baby that baby that's like flipping out. It's almost like, how do you not make things worse? Because as a parent, it's so easy. It's not like the baby knows what you're saying, but many parents are like, "Oh my God, will you shut up?" How do you not add to that energy when you are a parent? Because let's be real, babies don't care what you're going through. They don't care about your bills. They don't care about. And when you're feeling that pressure, like, how do you not start seeing things in a negative way
in that moment?
In that moment,
I think about the future. When I say I think about the future, I think about this too shall pass. I think about how, okay, well, this is what it is right now in this moment, but one day I'm not even going to have you to be right here crying and having this baby voice, and I'm going to miss it.
Right.
Or
that's where I'm at right now.
Right. Or even, with my child, I have a 8-year-old, and he can be a little rambunctious and doing the most and breaking things, or just asking for this and asking for that, and just being needy, being a child. And some things can come at a wrong time, or I'm busy, but I have to pause and say, okay, well, I'm going to miss this, because when he gets to age 17, 14, will he won't still want and need me on the level that he's doing right now. So let me cherish this. And where he's reaching out and he wants me to read with him. He wants me to spend time.
But how much time does it take to get to that emotion, or to get to that discipline? Because with society populating so fast, and I believe that there's so many underdeveloped people. Like we are emotional wrecks for the most part. Most of us do so much emotionally because we were never really taught how to control that. How do we get that in perspective? Because usually most people are led by their emotions. So how do you actually take the time to get that perspective?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. So during COVID 2020, I went through a process that was my first time that I was unemployed since I was 16 years old. And so I had seen an opportunity to go through an online course creators program. And in going through an online course creators program, it gave me an opportunity to discover who I am. For years, I've been hiding behind Absolute, but I didn't know who Portia Bryant was. But going through a process for me, I recognized who I was and what I had to offer outside of a company, outside of someone else's mission and vision, outside of all of that. Who am I? So I got a chance to discover who I was. And in the process of 2020 to 2021, I developed the nickname of the Doctor of Emotions. And that came about because I wrote a curriculum called the Ultimate Emotions Navigation System. And within that program, I achieved the revelation that I had to, first starting with me, I had to develop a different relationship with my emotions. And so in developing a different relationship with my emotions was a game changer.
You believed the lies that said you were nothing, laying on the floor in bathroom crying, feeling all alone in the dark, so broken. Listen, you are loved more than you know. I know you think that you just take up space. I know you feel like you must have no place in this world. But listen to me, dear, I'll shout it from the rooftop so everyone can hear. You're a beautiful display of amazing grace. Oh, how sweet the sound of hope calling your name. Reaching for the pills by the sink in the cabinet, taking everyone, hoping this would end it, thinking that nobody would care if you were gone. But I promised I would. I know you think that you just take up space, and I know you feel like you must have no place in this world. But listen to me, dear, I'll shout it from the rooftop so everyone can hear. You're a beautiful display of amazing grace. Oh, how sweet the sound of hope calling your name. So when your heart beats faster and you can't catch your breath, helpless thinking, I don't know if this is gonna end, you can call my name, I'll be there, 'cause you know that I have held you time and time again. I know you think that you just take up space. I know you feel like you must have no place in this world. But listen to me, dear, I'll shout it from the rooftop so everyone can hear. You're a beautiful display of amazing grace. Oh, how sweet the sound of hope calling your name.
Yeah, because I mean, I think that when things happen to us, the biggest place that we're hit first is in our emotions, and then we respond. We find ourselves being reactive to those emotions. So when William G. Stars was here, one of the things I talked about was being creative, and then wanting to create, having the discipline to create, doing all the right things, and then dealing with the shock of there being no support, people not responding, and what's interesting is that when in that moment you can accept defeat and believe that you are ultimately defeated, or you can press on. Is that an emotional decision in that moment, or is that more of a faith-based decision? In that moment where you're choosing to believe defeat or believe, that you can push past it. Where is that decision actually being made? Watch her actually take time to think. I love her. You can't just push her.
I believe that it's a balance of the two. A balance of the two. One being acceptance, and two being able to have a faith that can move mountains.
Gotcha. That was a perfect way of saying it. It's a balance because they are two extremes. Like if I accept that people aren't responding, but I have the faith to move mountains,
Right.
that's powerful.
One of the things that really, really blessed me in that class when I was in the Online Course Creators program in 2020 was understanding and learning for the first time that everyone is not your audience. Everyone is not your audience. And too often we get wrapped up in feelings of rejection and feeling like nothing less than because we are talking to people who are not our audience. And we assume that everyone is our audience, but that's just not the case.
How could you not like me? I'm kidding. Because but seriously, that is a real thing. Like I don't understand how my daughter and Crystal don't like certain movies or don't like. How could you not like this? How could you? But that is definitely something I need to think about because you would think that everyone can see what you see and appreciate what you appreciate,
Right.
But that's not actually the truth.
Right.
Wait a minute. Everyone is not your audience. That's actually good because that just shows you how many different types of people. But how do you brought up rejection issues? How damaging can rejection issues be, and how much space in your life can that actually occupy?
Oh, everything. Rejection is everything. It's like it can be debilitating, feel paralyzing even. To feel rejected, to feel not wanted, not accepted, not embraced. The humans have three ultimate needs, and that's to feel loved, safe, and connected. Love, safe, and connected. That's humanity's ultimate strive, is to accomplish those three areas. And if we're not accomplishing those three areas, then there's emptiness and voids that are filled with unhealthy existences from culture, from from bad habits. Some people might call it generational curses or what have you, but it races in to fill in where rejection has not allowed us to be whole.
How do you heal from rejection issues, especially if the origin may be misinterpretation? Like if the origin, you might think my father was never there, but your dad was at work all the time trying to provide for his family. That's a maturity thing. And I'm like, man, if you don't get that corrected, because I've seen people who have their parents were working all the time, and the just us being kids, I watched a friend of mine misinterpret their parents' effort for carelessness. Really, they were just working hard. One matter of fact, the father was in the Navy. He was always gone.
Right. Look, so I have to say this. So I'm also an anger management specialist. So in doing that for 7 years for the Department of Juvenile Justice for teenagers that are court mandated to to come and take my class, I realized that there's a big issue with us being able to accept someone not knowing how to do something. For example, if I'm saying, okay, well, I have father issues and he wasn't there for me doing this and he wasn't this kind of way and this, what if he didn't know how?
Hello, everybody. I got 60 seconds to get this done. So the 1 in a Million campaign is my son, my daughter, and myself. We're traveling across the country to get 1 million believers in the Coming Soon Jesus shirt. So we're going from church to church, state to state, sharing the message that Yeshua is coming soon. So we have the Coming Soon Jesus shirts, the Coming Soon Yeshua shirts, and the Coming Soon Yahuwah shirts. And our other merchandise will be coming with us as well. But the main focus is to get 1 million believers in the Coming Soon Yeshua shirts, Coming Soon Jesus shirts, or Coming Soon Yahuwah shirts, please go to comingsoonjesus.org and be part of the first 1,000 people to help us launch off. Also, real quick, make sure you know this. Everybody that supports us, we actually put your picture on our videos, YouTubes, and even the documentary that we're filming, which will be put on Netflix, because we're filming our documentary, the adventure that we go on, and we're doing it all for the kingdom of God. Thank you very much. God bless.
What if that man didn't know how? Sometimes we are asking people for something that they're not equipped to even give us, or that they don't have, or no one taught them, or you know what I mean. Like there is freedom. There's freedom in the power of perception. We can't assume, just like we said a couple minutes ago, we can't assume that everyone has the same thought process than we do, and someone's mind could be in a totally different place than where yours is, as well as their heart.
Well, the level of patience that people would have to even think on that level would, I mean, it's so I'm going to ask this, because when I think about the peace that's around you, the calmness that's around you, I know that you've had to develop that through, because I remember
For sure.
In your testimony when you were sharing the story about why you wrote the book, you were like, I had to deal with anger issues. I'm like, when did Portia and Bryant have to deal with anger issues? But there's stuff going on in the inside that no one else. So that, you know, that was surprising, because I always saw you carry yourself in a way that you just would have never thought that would have ever been an issue. And it's interesting how some people can base success or perception based off of what other people think, and some people aren't satisfied until they believe they are what they're projecting. I'm one of those people. I'm one of the people that's like, until I believe myself, everyone else can tell me how great I am, but until I believe it, I don't believe it. You know what I mean? How do you deal with like as a society, what is it going to take for us to get that patience for where other people are?
Yeah, so my solution that I decided to give as an intervention is, what would Jesus do?
Yes.
And what would Jesus do? You were talking about a rejection. And so within the book, I am highlighting a moment that Jesus validated Zacchaeus. He was being rejected by society everywhere he went. But Jesus said, I see you. Come down here. I want to go to your house today. He embraced Zacchaeus. He allowed him to feel seen, and he allowed him to feel like somebody in the face of culture that said you're nobody. So that's the healing that we need. I realized that there's a question that I've been pondering since college, and that is, what would it take to prosper a community? What does it take to? Why do people with behavior and emotional disorders act and behave the way they do? And all to come to a revelation that it's because there's a part of the soul that hasn't been saved.
Hi, I'm Robert Shepard. America has approximately 580,000 homeless people. My area of Virginia estimates 5,783 people living on the streets. A Google search can show the homeless number in your state. You can make a difference. Please send a message that God loves the homeless and has not forgotten them. Go to www.comingsoonjesus.org and click on Fundraising. Purchase the Coming Soon Jesus t-shirt or hoodie. The CSJ team delivers the shirts and hoodies to homeless shelters, churches, and even directly to the homeless. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can help the homeless. Please go to www.comingsoonjesus.org. Purchase a t-shirt or hoodie for the homeless today. God bless you as you bless the homeless.
And the soul consists of, our soul is very complex. So you may be saved in your will that wants to do the right thing. But what about your mind that tells you different? What about your emotions that are steering you in another way? So the soul is consisted of the mind, the will, and the emotions.
Yeah.
So when all of us isn't, saved, so to speak, then it's difficult for us to be able to embrace that liberty, freedom, and peace.
So when you are saying all this, when people's words turn this into visuals. When you're saying all this, I'm seeing the husband and wife fighting, and it really isn't a big deal, but it's now a big deal. Now they're saying things that they don't mean to each other. I see the parents saying to the kids, "You're a mistake. You're just like your father." All of the things that the things that just get said, because it's like those emotions boil over. Next thing you know, you're vocalizing it, and we're back to words.
Right.
Where we're speaking those words, and then I think about the child that grows up in that environment. And then it's like, wow, now that's shaping their reality, and it goes on and on and on. And I'm wondering, I'm asking myself, like, at what point do you pull back and say, hey, I need to get a hold of this. I need to get a hold of this. This is getting out of control. My words, my emotions are out of control. It's destroying my marriage. It's hurting my kids. I'm losing my job, because of my temper. I need help. When does a person, like, what can you talk to that person that is just getting to that place where they're saying, I need help with what you're talking about, with emotions, with rejection, with anger, with discipline. I need help. How do we get that person outside of their head into saying help? Because it's amazing that you can say all the destructive things, but help is the one thing that a lot of people struggle with. Let's talk to that person.
So if I'm to talk to the person who says, I need help, a transformation process in my life came when I was able to heal the inner child. And that person who has difficulty with managing emotions, there is a point in their walk, as the process of life, that was forgotten, or it was brushed over, like, okay, I'm woman enough to get past that, or I'm man enough to get past that, and it wasn't dealt with. So that is an indicator that there's a little boy inside that needs to be embraced. There's a little girl inside that needs to be seen. So when was the moment that you felt like you didn't have a voice? And then I give that person the space and a place to be able to voice what happened. So it's not about, what's wrong with you, but what happened to you. So in having the opportunity to talk about what happened gives pathways to freedom.